Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is Sunday evening, and you know what that means? That means we here at Rem Alternus are going to play another session of Like Clockwork. We've been kind of away from the main campaign for the past couple of weeks, kind of delving into some of the stuff from ancient history, in particular when the elves were first kind of going back to the Shadow Fae to make their homes there and the issues that they had encountered. But this week, we're going to come back to the main campaign. You will notice that Leah is not here this week. She has a wedding that she is attending. So congratulations to whoever her friend is that is getting married. And I think they're in Vegas for that or something. So do not begrudge her a trip to Vegas. Maybe she'll win really big and we'll be able to buy a huge studio for everybody and make this a super crazy production, but more likely not.
Thanks for that, Danny. Thank you.
Yes.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Ever in your favor, but all of you will die except for one.
That's not good for this campaign we're about to start, but okay.
Sarah, you're in Canada now.
I am. That's new and weird. I'm north of the wall.
North
We're international now.
of the wall.
We are international now. I like thinking about that. And I'm in Eastern time, which is really fucking me up.
Yeah, you were probably like ready for this an hour ago, and then we're like, wait a minute.
I was like, God, I'm playing until 11 p.m. Like, I'm supposed to be in bed then.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to be in that time zone soon.
Yeah. It's just hard translating because Rem is largely in Central Time, and so now it's like, when am I? But no, it's good. We're here, and I've discovered whippets, and we had poutine for dinner. So very Canadian.
Oh yeah, what's your whippets experience like?
Light and fluffy and overly sugary.
Like me.
Yeah.
True story.
That was good.
I'm just going to let that one go, actually, at this point. So before we continue on, does anyone else have any announcements that they'd like to make regarding anything just going on with them?
Yeah, I mean, I will. So in June, I'm starting another project over on the Dragons and Things Networks channel, where we will be playing Savage Worlds RPG, which is like a horror themed game that will be spanning like 4 seasons. So that info will be out on my page. So if you have me on Twitter, or if you don't, find me, or I will share that at the end of the show or something. But yeah, so like the actual start date, I'll be able to give that to you soon. But yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, if we're all on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter and you're watching this and you are not following those of us who are on Twitter, maybe John, are you on Twitter? Yes, John's going to be on Twitter as well. And
I'm on Twitter, but I say nothing of consequence ever.
Yeah, but you can follow us there. I'm at Coddlesworth. That shouldn't be too tough. We have our at Rem Alternus, and Randy's, yours is
Roller Raja. So for those who don't know, Raja is my initials, which is why I use it in almost all of my screen names. So it's it is. And I used to rollerblade when I was young. So that's where that name comes from.
I just thought you really liked the tiger from Aladdin.
Yep, that's what I thought.
No,
that's a super white thing to think about. Where the name Raja comes from.
It is. I figured out your initials very early on, but
yes. All right. So that sounds great, actually. Looking forward to catching you there as well. I believe that all of our, except for one thing, which is the main, the high-end one, but all of our 11 by 17s and the sticker art, all of that is done. Most of that is sent off, so that's going to be good. I'm going to be talking to a few people about some the final art piece that is the personalized sort of art piece. But yeah, everything's coming along there great. And yeah, we're getting ready to start inking into the second book. I'm super excited about that. And that's what I got. Any other announcements before we go? Nothing? Yes, no, yes, maybe? No? Okay. Well, in that case, hey, it's time. Boom, we're live. All right. Hey, everybody. Yeah, let's get started. So when we last left off in the main campaign, it was the 29th of Katosim, which is, of course, the third month in the world of Caliphus. Obviously, everybody knows that. So the troop, after arriving at the oasis and spending a night in the tavern outside of the main walls, decided to follow Uzenda and company, to include Zivid, up into the sort of badlands that were near the oasis, where they went into the ruins, discovered a few things, and then were confronted by Uzenda and his goons. There was a battle. There was destruction. There was bone arm glove hands waving around. I believe that's probably still on, almost like a wand. Yeah,
It's not a wand. It's more like a Muppet, is what it is. If there's a universal equivalent of a Muppet.
Oh, I thought it was maybe like a wand of Tasha's hideous laughter because hee hee.
Oh, that's
No?
good. I like that.
No. Yes, no.
I don't have the reference.
Thanks for watching, folks.
You tried.
All right, we'll see you next week. So
Play us off.
all right.
Da 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 da.
So that said, despite the initial sort of sort of joy at the victory, but also a little bit overwhelmed by everything that had happened, especially the fact that for one individual, a man was killed, and I don't think that had ever happened before. So that was pretty heavy. And then, as they were leaving, well, we'll just go back to that, actually. As you step out of the room, you see the final statue had been destroyed, and you step out, and there in the cage, which has been tipped on its side, in the far corner, lying face down, is a small form. And there is a pool of just dark liquid just pooling out in the darkness of this area.
I'm gonna run over and lift up the cage. I don't know if it's on top of him or if it's just.
It's so when you guys had escaped from the cage, you had tipped over on its side. So
Mhm.
basically, it's just the four walls of the cage, and then the floor and the ceiling were open. So the ends are just kind of, so you could just walk in, and Zivid's body is there, kind of in the corner on the far end, just kind of laying there. So you don't have to lift anything. You just could go in there.
I'll step over. I don't have a very optimistic expectation of this, but before I even check his vitals, I'll just cast Spare the Dying in case he's still there. And then I'll just check out to see if he's still alive.
All right. You cast Spare the Dying. You feel the magic kind of move through you, and it kind of reaches out, and you feel it kind of encompass Zivid's form. And as you kind of move down to check on him, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Oh, good job, Aegis.
Good job, Aegis.
I'd love to help you, but I don't know how.
I'm a little stressed, I guess.
As you sort of step in, you kind of splash through some of the pooling liquid, and you start to roll him over. And as you do, he drops something that was clutched in his hand.
What is it?
You hear it kind of
Visually look at it.
clink onto the ground. You look around to see where it is, and you reach down, you pick it up, and there's a bottle. Just a glass bottle, the kind that you stopper at the top, and it is it's been unstoppered, and whatever was inside of it has definitely been poured out. Maybe he drank it or something.
Sure hope that was a healing potion.
How's it look, Aegis?
He's stabilized because of Spare the Dying. If he's alive, is there any sign of anything? I know that I rolled low, but I would at least be able to see a breath. Is there any indication?
So make an investigation check.
Sure. And this looks to you guys like I'm just doing my thing. I'm not even like, I know you asked that question, but I'm just like
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a good start, huh? Jesus.
So exactly what are you checking for here as you bend down and you're looking?
Breath, pulse, rise and fall of a chest, anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because the blood is still kind of pumping from the battle below, or you feel really distracted as you're trying to check everything, and you just kind of give a cursory once over, and the main thing, I guess, is you don't even really find like where he was wounded.
Can I check out the I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna, maybe an alchemy kit test of what, well, that's a lot. Can I try to decipher what the liquid is? I'm not gonna sit here with a whole kit and just like do a whole chemistry examination of what the liquid is.
On the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
so, the bottle.
Oh, in the bottle.
Yeah.
So there, it's mostly empty. As you kind of like hold it up and turn towards any ambient light to sort of see, probably towards Shaylun, who has a light to see. You can see like.
I was gonna say, while this is happening, I and everyone's looking at Zivid. If I see the crumbled figure, I just keep walking to leave the cave. I'm hoping to not draw attention. I just want to be alone.
Um,
So I don't know if you need me to make a stealth to get away from them, but
You
all
have
up to
our
them.
light, so if you're walking away from us, we'll know.
I had a second light that somebody handed me, so
I will say I love you, Shaylin, but you're
I'm not good at sneaking, guys.
I
That's
would
fine.
notice if you're sneaking, and so I'm likely to be following Shaylin.
Unless you roll a shittier perception than my sneak.
That's true.
So we'll
I'm
just say,
also Panabon is actually so right before we left off last episode, Panabon had offered Shaylin a book, and Shaylin did not want the book, and so now Panabon is trying not to be worried, but Shay's favorite things, and it's slightly disconcerting. So even though Panabon is muppeting the skeletal arm and has a weird thunderbolted book under their arm, they're just gonna follow Shay, because being distraught and going into the desert is not ideal even for
there'd have to be some
so.
climbing too and stuff. I mean, probably just
Yeah.
would be able to get outside and have.
Well, I have a dagger that cuts into stone, so like I can just cut the cave in half now, I guess.
You do have a dagger that seemed to cut into stone, so yeah, there's that.
I am
Petunia
sort of
like-
looking over the body, just like as Aegis is doing his job, just sort of standing with arms crossed, sort of like
Sure.
very grimly hoping for something.
Okay. Make a investigation check as you are doing that. As
Oh,
you're
me too.
holding the bottle kind of towards the light, like I said, you notice that there is just that little bit of liquid, and that it's a really dark sort of liquid. You're not 100% sure what it is. You smell it. Give me an alchemy test. You don't need to roll, but it should be in there, right? Under your skills, your alchemy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it's
give us
an
a
intelligence roll.
test. Actually, no. Give us the herbalism test. That
Okay.
makes more sense here in this case.
Better-ish. Good thing for pluses.
It has a scent that it reminds you of ink, maybe, like for dipping a quill into and writing. A little bit off. There's something kind of earthy, a little more pungent about it, but definitely you get that sense of ink. Petunia, as you are stepping in, the thing you kind of notice is that the blood that you are kind of like when you step, if you step into the blood, it splashes pretty freely.
Interesting.
I'm gonna do a very scientific thing,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna jab him in the ribs with my finger.
Everybody make a perception test.
Everybody, or just the people around the body?
Everybody that's there.
Yes, finally.
Okay. Petunia and Aegis, you see this kind of as that happens.
I stand up. You fool! Stand up. Walk away.
I think this is fake blood.
He opens an eye, like he cracks it just a little bit. It's like, oh, well, you're not Zenda.
Lucky.
Oh, we killed him. He's dead now.
Are you smiling when you say that?
I am. I'm very proud of us. I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, Lox falls on the ground, just like sits and is in shock and is like,
Did you
yeah.
forget?
No.
So that thing that you said that they're going to try and do, it did. They're gonna. You said that. Yeah. So, but I had that. He points at the bottle that Aegis has. So I don't know. I don't know what I thought I was gonna do, but then they when we got here and we knew you were downstairs, and then Sender was like, shoot him, and so the one did, but he missed, and I just fell down and poured all the stuff out on the floor, and they were gonna check and just make sure, but then this thing came out, I guess, of the other room, and attacked them. So they took care of that and kind of forgot about me. But I thought they were probably gonna come back, and I just wanted to still be here so they wouldn't look for me after. And that's yeah. That's and I don't know. I guess I saw he was going to do some like weird stuff with like, I guess he's got the magic. So maybe he was trying to trick me.
Well, congratulations, you are still alive.
Yeah, I am. Ooh. Oh, this has been quite a journey. I am. Be nice to get back home.
Yeah, this is definitely enough adventuring for me for today.
Yeah. Yeah. So, she's dead. Like
Dead. Mm-hmm.
Real dead.
And the other guys are
Deader.
dead.
All dead. I'll save you the time. All dead. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what do we do next?
We eat. I am very hungry.
We get out of this cave, I would imagine.
We're not gonna eat them, are we?
No.
Ew.
I'm sorry. I just they're dead, and then you're like, we're gonna eat. I don't know.
Uzenda is in some form of a drink mixed with a barbecue at the moment, actually.
See, you see why this is confusing? He's all right. Well, I'm glad because I don't really want to eat them. He stands up. The front of his clothing is just all blackened down from the ink. Yeah. So, you think this will come out?
No.
I begin walking out.
Yep. I help dust Zivid's shoulders off, and I go, yeah, let's get out of here, and we can worry about all of this later. But
Okay. Yeah. Let's. We should probably get out of here. Did you guys find anything? Uzeno seemed to be like looking for something in particular. So did he find it? Did you find it?
Nope.
nope.
No. Oh.
But
No.
we stopped him from being able to find it. I look over at
Hope he's not waving that
Karina.
thing right now.
No, he followed Shay outside.
Okay,
so
okay.
Yeah, they're just told him that I am not stupid enough to put on a glove from a skeletal hand in a grave. Panabon is many things, but Panabon is not that stupid. Until we know what this does, it's literally should be kept at an arm's length. It's Panabon's thought process.
Or half an arm's length.
Half an arm, a femur bone of length, whatever it is. So it's just a little glove on a stick, really. That's how Panabon thinks about it.
Yeah. I start walking after Aegis.
Okay. All right. Let's go, I guess. And Zivid follows as everybody heads outside. The cavern is large. There's a few openings here and about in the top where light is coming down in various size shafts, providing enough ambient light to see what you're doing. What did like as she stepped outside over the bones of the people that have been collapsed there at the door, or does she stop when she sees that, or what does Shaylin do?
Wait, bones? There's bones?
Yeah.
So yeah,
We
there
entered.
at the entrance of the temple, the doors were closed, and there were skeletons all in front, as if they had died trying to like bang on the doors and get inside. And
Which is
then
ironic because if they had had a thief, they could have just sent me in through the window and then I could have unbolted it from the other side.
yeah, Panabon did not go through the window. Panabon went through a broken part of the wall that must have crumbled in the last however long it was. So it probably wasn't a window then.
I don't know that Shay even notices at this point. She's so in her own head.
Okay. So she just kind of clambers past as if it's rocky terrain, and steps out. The rest of you are heading out. So yeah, I couldn't think of a way to tell you guys that that he knew you guys were following, and he was like they let them go. You guys were gonna like do something, like set off things, something like that. And
We
then he
did do
said,
that. Yes.
yes, and then we would come in after, and he put the did you break those things too?
Us? Never.
Well, he put them to guard at the doors. And
Oh,
he said-
those? Yeah, totally broken.
yeah, he said that then you would think that we had gone in. I guess he was pretty smart, but not that that's smart. I guess that's good.
Well, it looks like you were smarter, my friend. I'm just glad you're still here.
I think I think I was just lucky because I think that when if that thing hadn't come out, they would have just shot me again.
Oh, I guess maybe it was a good thing we left some for them to fight. I look over at Aegis and Locks with an eyebrow up.
Locks rolls his eyes as hard as he can.
I start walking out with even more purpose.
Prunia.
I turn back and I look over my shoulder and I wave at Zivid with the arm. Hi, Zivid. Good to see you're still alive.
Oh, hi. What is that? Is that a hand?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I saunter over to Panabon and go, Panabon, yes, you have a new toy. Let's not show everyone back in the Oasis what we found.
Well, no,
Right.
but yeah, of course. But we're not in the Oasis yet. We are still deep underground in the cavern.
Right.
I am well aware.
This guy, and I'm trying to not be obvious, but definitely being obvious. Like this guy does not know that we found anything.
I mean, but he does
we
know
did
that
not
we
find
killed
anything.
Lucinda, so
We did, but we
there's
did
that.
not find anything. Right?
What are we gonna
Yeah.
tell everybody back in the caravan? Because they probably wouldn't they expect Uzenda to come back sometime today,
Well,
tomorrow.
Well, didn't you say you were showing Uzenda this so Uzenda could sort of understand if he wanted to do more excavation of the ruins or something? Maybe we say he wanted to go out there and study it a bit longer himself.
Oh, I suppose that would work.
And we say that you being done with your job finished and we're ready to go back on the caravan.
Oh,
One might say Uzenda is thinking about making it his permanent residence.
That's a good one. I like that.
Oh my god.
but he doesn't need to live anywhere. You killed him. He's dead.
Yes, but we're not going to tell everyone that, okay, Zivid?
Right. That's
Uh-huh.
That's what I was kind of getting. Yeah. That's
Should we
Yes.
should we leave you here, Zivid?
no. Please, I am just gonna come back with you guys.
Hmm. When asked, you will say nothing. You took him to the temple to look at the site, and then you came back, and he is still there looking for things. That's it.
For eternity.
Please don't add the eternity, please.
I could say we fed him to a
I-
camel. Camels eat people, right?
No.
Yes.
No.
I mean, I don't know if they do or not, but I would imagine no.
I really hope not. That would.
You're muted, Sarah.
I'm sorry. I just was very entertained by the no. Yes, no.
As you head out, like I said, there's the cavern. There is the location that you guys kind of came down. Is everyone just kind of packing it up to head out, or?
Yeah. Panabon,
Hi,
please.
I'd had a question for you, actually.
Okay.
Do you have the space for this hand where it will not be touched until someone can figure out exactly what it is? Because I don't mind carrying it, but apparently it makes people uncomfortable. I don't know why. Like, if there's like a shelf you have that it can just be there, and then we can know just like where it is. Like, do you have like a shelf?
I am uncomfortable with myself that I'm on the same page with you.
Yay!
We can
Friendship.
we can store it in my bag for now. Nobody will check my
Yes.
bag.
I'm gonna keep the book, because hopefully Shay will want to see that eventually. But the book will garner less attention, and I guess apparently people will ask questions if we just have a skeleton arm. So yeah, if you just have like a shelf, and then whenever Shay's ready, we can figure out what to do with the, I'm assuming, evil glove hand of whatever was in the grave that we definitely robbed.
Shay is currently trying to haul her -1 strength ass up the rope that we had climbed down.
Okay.
I'll just shield boost you.
Well, first, go ahead and just roll. But go ahead and add 2 to that roll.
Strength, athletics, or
Athletics.
athletics, and add 2. Oh, modifier. I remember how to do this. 2.
Okay.
Oh,
We added 2
yeah.
because part of not being able to do a thing when you're not really good at it is worried about not being able to do the thing, and I figure that Shay's not really concentrating on that at all. It's just kind of going through the motions. So that's where that +2 comes from. But yeah, Shinglun actually has managed to haul herself up halfway to the top, and is actually a little higher than a shield boost requires.
Are you taking the rope up, or are you just like climb? I remember how sheer the rock face was getting down.
There was a rope. I was pretty sure, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was able to get up once without the rope, so it's not like super, super hard, but yeah.
It's not as far as we thought it was.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep climbing.
As Lox goes to climb, he looks back and he says, we might want to camp for the night or somewhere safer than here, but once we're out, just so that Shaylun has some time to calm down before we get back to the oasis. And he just starts going. Not that he's gonna be good at it, so Danny, do I roll?
No, I wanted. I did want
Yeah.
Shay to roll just in
Okay,
case
great.
there was shenanigans.
I'm taking my time very carefully.
Between the rest of everybody, you're all able to get up with little difficulty, but you manage to all get to the top. Zivid turns and looks and says, "So, I'm excited that well, I'm just excited that we discovered it, and I guess I'll probably be annotated as the person found it, and that's good. But if I don't ever see this place again, that will also be okay. And then he turns and starts heading down the cavern passageway with the rest of you. You unless you're trying not to, I don't imagine Shay's moving very fast. You will catch up unless you're opting to purposely give her the space to move.
I would give her some space. But if we want to camp somewhere, we're gonna have to stop Shaylun at some point, right?
Panabon is jogging, like, not as a shadow, but just, like, right enough behind where it's obvious Panabon is just right there with Shay, just not saying anything, but there.
Okay. You reach the exit, the small crawl area that you exit out into, and the sky above is a deep azure, just this deep blue, the kind of blue that indicates that the sun is setting, but is still up. However, you are down in these sort of like canyon ways between some of the rocks, so you can't see the sun, but it is not so dark yet.
We should probably find some place to camp that gives us a little bit higher vantage point. What do you think?
I agree. Can I roll a survival to look if there's a place that's suitable around here?
Certainly.
All right.
There we go.
So your options are to camp up, but the problems with that are going to be wind and visibility of you. People can see you. Your next option is to camp down, which will provide you protection from the elements, but no early warning for anyone coming up on you. And then finally, setting camp in the crevice area, and then whoever's on watch maybe being up high, something like that. But any besides that, any place is as good as any other in this whole kind of area.
Right. You've heard the options, guys. What do you want to do?
I like having the high vantage point. Why don't I take the watch up there and we can find a spot for us to be down here?
All right.
Okay. Are we sneaking away somewhere? Just out of curiosity? Hello? I know. It's gonna be okay. I promise. Maybe. What my promises are worth. If it's still alive, so that's good, right? That's something. Good. It's gonna be okay. I promise. But I don't know if we should walk all the way back to the oasis this time by ourselves. Just thought. Aegis said he'd make you some tea. You like Aegis' tea, right?
Damn it.
No, that's not.
I just had a flash of like Aegis being like, I did not offer to make her tea.
Does Shaylun stop or continue on, or?
She hasn't looked back to see if anyone is if the group is with her or not. She assumes that if Panabon is close, then they are too. So she keeps walking. Also, she also doesn't care.
Miss Shayloon, we are stopping for camp. Miss Shayloon.
Mm,
I think she's traumatized. Do you have anything for that?
Whiskey.
Do you have whiskey, Petunia?
Obviously. I hand him my flask.
I just look at your hand. It's not mine to offer, so I'm just looking at your hand.
I motioned to Panabon to try to hand it to Shay.
Ooh. Okay. Well, see, Shay, I have alcohol. Alcohol's great. It will help. Maybe
This isn't supposed to be funny, but
I don't know how to help you because this is the kind of thing we learned about in theming school day one. So I don't actually know how to get you to stop. But wherever you're going, I'm going because that's the deal. So
because Panabon doesn't shut up, Shay starts to grab at her head and then finally turns to look at him, and her eyes go white as she puts her consciousness in Minya, and you see Minya start hopping and rolling away across the sand.
Now that's ingenuity.
Yeah, I just am watching everybody try to do this, and I go, Panabon. Sometimes people just need a little space and time for themselves. Just help me get the camp set up for tonight. Shayloon will join us when she's ready.
I'm gonna set off to find the higher vantage point.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's just clambering up some rocks and finding a place to sit. The unfortunate reality of that too is if anyone is creeping up through the canyon areas, probably not going to see them unless they have a light or something, and then you'll see that light kind of beaming out a little bit. But it's still better than being down where you literally can't see anything except the direct passageways before they turn off. So you do find a spot. The wind is here at this point is blowing steadily. It's a warm wind kind of coming from the south and then pushing up north. There's no sand or anything that's really blowing. Any sand that's here in this area is in between the large rocks that make up this sort of maze or labyrinth throughout. But you set up your camp, and I imagine that Aegis is making something to eat. Are you trying to set a fire of any sort, or are you having something cold?
All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's give it a try.
can I do a nature check on the stuff in Zivid's bottle?
You can.
Just curious about something.
Randy.
Yeah.
Doesn't Lox have the ability to create campfire?
Whoa! I have all the nature today.
I think I might. Let me just double check. Sorry, actions is where it is. That's right. Does this do that? It does. Yeah. I can instantly light or snuff out a campfire. A small campfire.
So Lox creates the fire.
Yeah. I
You do need fuel.
yeah. We need to find something that can burn before I can do it.
If you ask for oil, Panabon has a little bit of oil.
Okay. I would ask Panabon. I would imagine Panabon would have something that explodes or catches fire. So yes.
How very dare you? I would never. I have a tinderbox. So yeah, I can help.
But we need something that can keep the fire going, and we're in a canyon rock face. So is there any dry brush or anything around here?
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check to sort of gather whatever you can.
I already rolled my really good one, Danny. We all know what the next one's gonna be. Yep.
Called it. Called it.
Okay, so you're not able to find anything of a real substance to burn, but there's definitely a lot of scraggly brush stuff, like real little things that amount, like at the heaviest it would be kindling, but mostly it's just like kind of in that between stage of like tinder and kindling. Happily, you are in the desert where it's warm enough that you don't need a fire to sleep. So you only need it to burn for long enough to cook if Aegis is cooking. Otherwise, you don't really even need a fire.
This is cooking.
Deserts get really cold at night, Danny.
They can.
Yeah, but this one does.
But would this
just wanna make
desert
sure.
get cold at night? Because we're not on Earth. We are in Kyalopus.
By really cold, generally because there's not a lot of precipitation, that the
Right.
heat that beams down during the day is able to escape at night. But that said, here, this close to the equator, it's not that it gets really cold. It's much colder at night than it is in the day,
Right.
but it's not
Randy,
so cold that you'll be hurting.
We're playing in a fictional world. If you start questioning the temperature of deserts, this is all going to fall apart.
No, it's not. My rivers work.
Yeah. Also, if you think it's cold in this desert, try Palacune in whatever the January of
Yeah.
your world is.
Locks looks
This is
at
a real
you and
conversation
goes,
that's happening.
I don't want to do that.
So no,
Yeah,
in
you're
winter.
cold.
There's probably also that warrant out for my arrest in Palacune, so it's not ideal anyways.
All right.
Yep.
I take the little fake, almost kindling, and put it down, and I go, "This is what I found."
Yeah.
And I cast prestidigitation on it to light it.
Okay. Now you're going to have to cook. This fire is very, very smoky. The smoke that comes off of this fire is very heavy and thick. But it'll give a nice little, mesquite sort of flavor to whatever you're cooking, I guess. However, it's not the hottest fire, and it is pretty quick burning, so you don't have a lot of time. Make that cooking roll at a -2.
Well, I don't even have one yet, so we haven't discussed having if
Oh,
I got
you
any sort
have
of
it now.
legit thing
You
from the guy.
have-
Oh, okay.
You do. It's level because you leveled at level 4. Yeah, level 4. That was when I was gonna allow
okay.
you to have that, and everyone else also.
Cool.
While I was thinking about it, I guess I kind of forgot. If there is a language, you can learn a new language or a new tool set skill every 4 levels, along with your feat or ability increase.
What's a tool set skill? Like, what do you mean by
Alchemy, cooking, an instrument, a new instrument. If you want to learn an instrument, something
that?
that
I want to
is
learn instruments. I want to learn
so
an instrument.
if you want to
Oh,
learn how to play a
no.
new instrument,
Oh,
Is there like a version of like a mandolin in this universe that Panabon can learn? I want mandolin skill.
Yeah. Right?
yes,
I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I imagine.
Why not
It-
just a
it-
mandolin?
yeah. I mean, we
Because
would
it
probably
needs
just
to
call it a
be
mandolin, but
Okay, yeah, I'll learn a man. That'd be fun. No, don't limit us. Also, Danny, can we transfer the skeleton hand and creepy glove out of my? I couldn't figure out how to move it from my inventory to.
certainly. So what you do is you move it into the
Party.
party sheet, but I believe
Yeah.
I can move it directly. So there it goes.
I couldn't figure out how to. I was trying, and then I equipped it, and then I was no longer carrying it, and then I was carrying it again, and I was like, "This is going to take a long time." Just ask for help when you need it.
All right. So now that is in Aegis's stuff. Real quick, Aegis, let me go ahead and put this into your skills. Cooking.
Also, I'm a delight on the mandolin. I'll have you know, Panabon is a delight for all of you non-believers.
You just started with that kid. None of
That's
us know
probably
that.
terrible. Yeah.
I know, but I believe in my ability to be a delight.
We know that.
And so, I mean, it's all about showmanship. So even if I'm awful, if I
Music
just
is
get the
not just
crowd
about
to
showmanship.
believe,
It's really not. Danny, while all of this is happening, and they're getting ready for dinner, Locks just sort of reaches in his pocket, pulls out his harmonica, does not play it, but he's sort of looking at it and just thinking pretty deeply about the past adventure and how things went, and that's just what I'm doing.
Yo.
Ooh,
I'm not eating tonight.
We don't know it's bad yet, so that's the sad part.
There's a,
You
there's
know
a
what?
smell.
Appropriate. It's appropriate. It's fine.
wait, don't you have
Still-
rations?
You do.
Alex?
You also have a roll, I think, from Tom.
Oh yeah, we
You
do.
roll.
All right,
Unless
we'll
you
do-
want to subject us to that.
We'll do. I mean, it was funny, but I also don't want to suck at cooking that bad. So we'll try it again. I've already failed in my prelude. Hey,
Hey,
That's much better.
You managed to cook something that is both palatable and filling and nutritious. So just describe what you're cooking there so that everyone knows, and then everyone can tell us how they feel about it.
So I imagine by now, we all know that I've already given out some of my more expired proteins. I probably only down to some vegetables. I just make with some water that I have, just like a vegetable soup. Is probably all I can manage at this point. We're not running on much. So
Do you still have any of that snake left? Because we killed a whole bunch of
Probably not.
snakes. No snake left. Okay.
at this time, that's probably with the rest of the poultry, like in terms of how good it is.
Pack it in salt.
But I would have extracted the poison by now. So yeah, it's probably like a really humble like vegetable soup. Lots of root vegetables, onions. Trying to make it as hearty as possible, but yeah, like I said, we're not running with much here. So it's probably very spice heavy because that's probably all I have is like just salt and pepper and maybe some herbs and stuff. But that's what it is.
If anyone really needs protein, you can go get a little bit of Uzenda back from the.
Yeah, you can scrape them off the wall.
When Aegis is not looking, very carefully, I cast prestidigitation on it. I can't say that word. I cast it
Neither can
on the food, just to make it taste a little more protein heavy.
You can do it on your own. That's disrespectful.
I said I was doing it when you weren't around.
All right,
We'll
fine.
call the spell bone broth. Is what we'll call it.
Like when
I
you,
earned that 16.
Okay.
it's like when you salt something before tasting it.
I hate when people do that.
I do that.
Give me sleight of hand.
Oh, you're in
no.
trouble.
I am in trouble.
Antibodies either?
Nope. I mean, you don't have the spell. It's me. So, I mean, it makes sense. I'll do it, Daddy. I shouldn't have done it. Oh, okay. Yes. Let's see.
Why do I have
Perception.
squidding? What's
Roland.
happening?
Roland's rolling.
You were
a
looking at what was in the bottle.
But that's what it is. I understand. Okay. I was like, wait, it took me a second to catch up.
Yep, I knew it. I knew it. You're lucky I'm having this kind of night.
Shailene,
I have the most like it tastes like beautiful chicken.
You're like, this isn't the flavor profile I was going for at all.
Yeah, like how did I achieve the flavor of chicken?
I'm
You're, like,
imagining
looking at
that you might have that you might have either brought Shailene back to the camp, or is she just still standing kind of over to the side?
She sat on the sand, but that's where she went into Minya. Was
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I
is
was gonna
where she's-
say, after I'm done cooking, everybody's kind of settling around. After like a couple of minutes, I disappear from the camp, and I come back, and I have Shailene at full arm's length, like feet just dangling, and I put her down next to the fire. I wrap a blanket around her, and then I just sit next to her and have my dinner.
All right.
I came down for dinner, but I went back up to my viewpoint. So I'm like, this is much better than your normal cooking. And I go back up.
It's my first time cooking for you guys.
No,
So-
it's not. Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is for like yes, like as a full group of just like here's a
Oh.
meal. It is. But Lachlan has rode with Aegis probably for a while and has probably tasted some of the
For sure.
experiments leading up to this one.
That is
Indeed.
probably true.
All right. Well, after the cooking is done, you pretty much let the fire die out. It's just way too smoky of a fire to continue on. Shayloon, you're just kind of rolling.
You're like this in a blanket.
You put her hands like this. But you're you're out there with Minya. There's as you're kind of moving, you get a sense of something nearby. Make a perception test. Okay. There we go. As you're kind of moving, you get a sense of something else kind of nearby, and as you focus your senses, you see something kind of hunkered down behind a rock. You almost missed it, but it kind of like lowered a little bit as you were moving forward.
If it's leaving me alone, I'm leaving it alone.
Okay, so are you just staying where you're at, or are you moving away from it, towards it, continuing
on
as
this-
if you didn't see it?
I'm on the same trajectory I was.
Okay.
Aimless is the trajectory. Away from Panabon.
Oh.
So sweet, like what you were doing, and she's just not having it.
I mean, that's fair. I don't know that Panabon's the one you want to go to for comfort necessarily.
All right. As you are moving, you realize that whatever that thing was, as you pass and have gotten about 10 feet away, it suddenly rises and dashes in your direction. Grabs you. And
Is it a kitty?
and you feel now that you're moving very quickly in whatever direction, as you are in the mouth of whatever this is.
I can cast touch spells from
You
this,
can.
right? Yeah.
If you have any spell slots left,
Cantrips.
trips.
Yep, always cantrips.
But we did rest after we killed Uzenda, I think. So should have it back.
I don't think for 8
no.
hours. I think you guys wanted to leave first, and this is your
Oh.
first rest.
Yeah.
Oh, and we didn't discuss this, but does Peruni want to take a full watch for the whole night, or does Peruni want some
No,
rest?
no,
as well?
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Rosalie will definitely switch off with me. She and I do
Okay.
this. We have an arrangement.
I'll
Panabon
take
is happy to
first,
offer if you need someone. Yeah.
I don't have any touch spells, so that's cool.
Oh. Cool.
Minya.
Cool.
Okay.
I guess I'm along for the ride.
Well, until you reach the 100-foot mark,
Yep.
and you do after a moment. Make a investigation check. Your difficulty is going to be pretty high on this, but
So Danny, is this mark like
this is
it's like
some
a rubber
sort of
band?
dog, wolf, canine, fox. That's what you
Got
get.
it.
You're being held in the mouth. It's kind of an elongated snout. You can see the paws as it's running and dashing forward.
Are they furry,
it's
like
some
fat,
sort of,
furry?
some sort of canine, not kitty.
Ask me what its name is.
And
Sorry.
eventually, yes, it pops out of the 100 range, and then you find yourself back in your body.
Hey, kind of like snap and lift my head up, and I'm in front of the fire with the blanket. I just kind of sigh. I don't say anything, but I'm thinking, need a new trinket for Minya.
Staring at the fire with my teacup, I go, "Welcome back."
I just hug my knees and stay quiet.
We're both quiet.
Yeah, I think this is a quiet dinner. Like, I don't think Lox is talking very much either.
All right. The evening wears on. The presumption for getting your spells back is that you are studying them. Does Shaylun study from her spell book? Okay.
And like that is really annoying to her because like she likes her routine and this is breaking her routine. But like also she's got that little bug in her ear that's like, you need to be studying, you're behind, you blah 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 blah. There's so much to do. And she's like, I fucking murdered someone, okay? Like priorities, Shaylun. Priorities.
Indeed.
Impending one shot coming up. Shay versus Shay.
The OCD is strong right now.
One has spells, the other doesn't. She comes back a cold-hearted killer. So, as the night wears on, guard, you do share some of the guard shifting. Rosalia actually pulls a lot of it as well, just because she only needs the 4 hours, and then she's fine.
Over the course of the evening, it's not a big like RP mark or anything like that, but I just take my time bandaging everybody up and tending to wounds and bruises and stuff like that.
Sure.
I have a question, actually.
Okay.
Would Zivid know the name of the guards that were Yuzenda's friends in the guard tower at the Oasis? I went into the room with, or would Zivid not know that?
The names of the guards.
Yeah, because Zivid didn't go into the guard tower. He ended up in the tavern. But would he have overheard names or anything like that? Like people Uzenda would have known that either he was paying off or he was friends with.
Okay, I got it. No, I never. They didn't tell me much. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I no.
Okay. You've done a good job surviving, so I applaud you for that. Gnome to gnome. You're a great gnome.
Yeah, I'm glad that that it worked out.
Yeah, I'm glad too. Would have been a real bummer if it didn't.
I'll say. Just glad it was dark in there.
In fact, I like you so much, I'm not going to ask you to play cards with me. That's how much I like you.
Oh.
I'm really good at cards. You'd be really sad.
Oh, okay. 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 And with that, he just sort of stares off thinking about also his near-death experience and the fact that the camp feels really somber, other than Panabon's incorrigible delightfulness. And eventually, for those who are not fighting it, sleep does take you. Shayloon, go ahead and give me a willpower, we'll say saving throw.
Are we playing Shadowrun?
Wisdom, right? Wisdom. It used to be reflex, fortitude, and will were the saving throws back in 3rd edition. So I keep thinking that.
I knew Shayloon was a Green Lantern. I just knew it.
Now make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
All right. So Shayloon does not get any really good or useful sleep for the night.
Exhaustion!
Has a level of exhaustion for the next day.
Exhausted and no new spell slots.
Don't fight, guys. I can't help ya.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So with that, the sun does come up, and the temperature rises.
Hup.
Rosalia and I just look at each other like, oh my god, this guy.
I
Panabon is definitely like doing it with you too, like, and you can't tell if it's serious or if it's hilarious.
I
Well,
turn
it is
over in my
hilarious.
bedroll and I go, Aegis, can you do it just a little bit quieter? And I go back, try to go back to sleep.
You just
And then you
me be a
hear
little bit
Panabon's
further
voice,
away.
up.
So Panabon and Aegis are doing the morning routine. Zivid does throw something. Not sure what. It doesn't land anywhere near you, but just kind of like if it was a cone in your direction, it's in the cone, but it's not like at you at all. Yeah, and then everybody finally does get up and strikes camp, presumably to head back to the Oasis. Shayloon probably just still sort of sitting with her knees pulled up.
Yeah, I think about maybe summoning Minya back to me, but I actually like the quiet in my head right now. So
Lox goes over to where Shayloon is sitting and looks at her and says, "Hey, you don't gotta say anything, but it looks like you haven't got much sleep last night, which I understand. If you wanna ride on my shoulders, so you can just, I won't talk to you. Just I'm just putting the offer out there. I'll carry you if you like." And he just walks away and then lets her decide.
she doesn't react or move or anything, but in her head she's like, nope.
And then everybody freezes.
No, because I have no fucking spells.
Oh, true.
Not even
Like just all to freeze and we all keep moving and she's like, damn it.
It's like a
Wait,
Stephen
you
King
don't have
film.
a no spell, and Panabon is just on the loose in an oasis.
Yep.
That's
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
This is gonna be great.
Good day.
All right. So as you pack everything away and strike the camp, get ready to head back to Suzlum, which is just a few hours walk. It wasn't too bad. Little over half a day's walk. We're going to go ahead and take 10 minutes. A little bit of a bio for us and to get situated and ready for what comes next. Okay. So we'll see everybody in 10. We're back.
No one else gets that joke, but
it's between Nipoe and Aegis. So
How would a camel say boom? I'm just out of curiosity.
Boom.
it would not say boom because it does not speak words. But if it wanted to express something similar to boom, it would be like.
Yes,
Can we get that translation added to the World Anvil?
that'd be great.
Camel, like that's another language. Camel,
Yeah,
the 10th language for it's just
it rounds it
There's-
out. It's a great idea.
there's 5 phonemes in camel. Those sounds put together. All right.
also comics in the comics, like there's just like a thought bubble, and it's just like boom.
I'll just put like a camel hieroglyphic.
Can that be my
So you know they're
NPC
speaking
that I add? Is
Yes.
camel?
Yes. So
Oh, my face.
as everyone prepares to head out for the walk back, Zivid assists in putting everything away, and it's like, so I guess we'll just go back and then we'll just wait hang out until the caravan's ready. I suppose I was gonna stay with Zinda until they left, but probably now I'll just continue on with you guys. Would that be okay?
I'm inclined to say yes, but I don't know about my friends.
Oh,
And I look at Perunia.
Rosalie and I look at each other. We shrug, roll our eyes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I could probably get a passage back to from the city when we get there. Yeah. Okay. We should go then, huh? And then he just kind of starts walking uncertainly in the direction, kind of looking to see if anyone else is walking, and then
Brunia's walking. I don't want
follows.
Zivid leading us anywhere, so that sounds terrible.
Shaylin gets up and starts walking.
All right. As you exit out of the sort of rocky terrain of the Badlands, a little more than half of the journey, you can see ahead of you the water of the oasis, which is down just a little bit in elevation, and you're impressed at the size of it. It's a very large body of water, actually, for what it is. You're in your mind, you always think of an oasis as like something small. That said, of course, back in ancient times, from the book that Shaylin had read, it was a much larger body of water. But you see it, and you can see the sun reflecting off of it, and it looks actually really beautiful, rimmed around as it is by verdancy, the grasses and several trees, sort of like palm trees, and yeah, you start walking back. There's not anything that bothers you. You can see pretty far over the grass, and eventually you do get back just before sunset to the inn that is outside the walls of Susum Oasis, the Hanze.
What a great couple of days of sightseeing, right, guys? The sightseeing was fantastic.
I saw sights them to see with my eyes. Saw them.
Sure was nice, and he walks towards the inn just to go to his room.
Okay.
I'm gonna check in with Northsim or any of the caravan folks and just find out how much more time we're gonna likely be at the Oasis.
Okay. looking for Norsum and the others, you eventually do find Ogalia just kind of sitting out in front of the south gate, chatting it up with a couple of the local guards, you think. And also a somewhat familiar face. 1 second, let me grab them. As you approach, this one individual looks up. It's an orc, a female orc. And upon seeing you, her mouth splits into a grin and she stands. Oh, Porunya! Oh, good to see you. And you recognize this as Noain Upilmov, who was with you in that journey to the mountains where you found, where you came upon Rosalia. So a mercenary that has worked with you, that you have worked with in the past.
Wow, fancy meeting you here. Look what the camels dragged in.
Just staying at the lodge. You know, what are you doing?
Oh, we're working with Ophelia and her caravan up here. We're part of her guard troop. We were just sightseeing the last couple of days, but we came in with them.
I see. So just more work then. Oh, I wish I could get back out on the road myself. Ogalia kind of turns and gives you a nod. The other guards, the Suslam guards, stop talking and just kind of now the focus is on this conversation. You been to the lodge?
Yes, I mean, I've only stayed in there one night so far, but pretty nice.
No,
Good
not the inn, the lodge.
No, not yet. We have not yet entered the city.
Oh, well, our lodge is not inside the walls. But you should stop in later. I can introduce you to the lodge boss and maybe I don't know, some connections here, and maybe some work that you could do. Aurelia says that you're here for what, another 2 days? And she looks up and nods. Yeah, 2 days we'll be here. So, and that's 2 full days. So, third sun up.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd happily come to the lodge. I've got 5 companions, so if there's a job to be done that can be done in 2 days, I mean, we're probably up for it.
I'll see. Usually we don't have anything for us. You know, the Blue Joke come, they go. Usually with the caravans, but if we have something, I'll see, because it can be quiet here.
Well, we could always put on an exhibition match.
Maybe. She kind of does that once over, contemplating what that would feel like to her. And then she, how many guards with you?
I've got a party of 5 that we're traveling with, so 5 more, so 6 total.
6. Maybe if we can get something more than 2 people, we'll see if the lodge boss agrees. But with that, I will part ways. Stop in later. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is. It is good to see you. Whoa, what about that that
Rosalia?
woman we found? Yeah.
Yes, she's still with our party. She's learning a common tongue pretty well now, and she's made a I'd say peace with not returning to her home for a while.
She was pretty upset.
I don't think it's been easy for her, but I think she feels that it's an opportunity to explore this land, and she's a wonderful companion and a great warrior.
Good. Good. Well then. Oh, and she says her goodbyes to the others, and heads kind of southwest along the wall towards where the lodge is. And just for everyone's kind of memory, I will reshare the Oasis map. So again, the Blue Joke Lodge for Susalam is down there on the lower left-hand side of the map. All right, so as she leaves, do you stay? Are you still needing to talk to Ogelia at all, or?
I was just checking really in on the timing. So since she said the third sun up, I feel good. So I just say, well, have a nice night, fellas.
Okay. You do note that there are two of those sandstone guardians standing right outside of the closed gate, as well.
I just go up to one of them and like knock on it to see if their red eyes are glowing.
The eyes are on. They're not red, but be careful with that.
Curious contraptions, aren't these?
So Galia is speaking to you. Yeah, don't probably touch them like that. You should be. I don't. It's that, and the guards are like, we don't know what makes. I mean, when there's trouble, they go, but you don't tell them what to do. And she just kind of looks over. Yeah, I probably would just leave them alone. I don't really trust them.
Yeah, that's probably good advice. I step away.
Useful guardians, I suppose. Not the fastest, so no good for caravans, but
I bet they can't ride a camel.
no, I don't think they can ride a camel. One of the guards looks over. I don't think they need to ride a camel. They just will go forever. So I imagine you could make one into a camel.
Rudy ponders this for a second. Huh. Interesting.
I mean, I don't know why not. And then they start kind of talking about what it would mean to have a sandstone camel, and how that would work.
Enjoys the conversation for a couple minutes before saying goodnight.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, good night. Bye. And they let you kind of walk off without too much awkwardness of being done talking, but maybe not, and then someone else says another word, that whole thing. But then you separate off. And meanwhile, in the inn, Shayloon, I presume, just went right to the room and shut the door.
Yep. Locked it to be alone, collapses on the bed, and finally lets herself basically cry herself to sleep.
Okay. And Lachlan also went
to bed, but not crying himself to sleep, but just in there.
All right. Aegis.
I go to the room as well, but I'm gonna spend, because it's not like what time would you say it is?
It's not late. It's just before dinner time.
Oh.
That you guys got back.
Then retcon. What manner of amenities are on the exterior of the Oasis? Is there specifically any type of bathhouse type situation?
No, there's not a bathhouse.
Damn.
You do know
There is a lake.
there's a big body of water that has boats and all kinds of other things in it. There is the only things that are outside of the walls that you can see are the lodge, the Orc Lodge that's to the west, and then the basically the pins that are keeping your camels from just roaming away forever.
Then I spent some time walking back and forth on the exterior of the oasis, looking for a proper bathhouse, mumbling to myself about how basic this place is, not having any sort of like spas like Da Nang does, any place to like
There
get
is
exfoliated.
there's some tents outside of the Orc Lodge, but there's no other building. Like there's places where like reeds and grass have grown in the water where maybe you could shield yourself if you were like trying to be modest, you know, and bathe in the water. But and it's the water is clean. It's very nice water. It's
trying to get pampered. So after that, I'll go back to the inn. Probably since everyone seems to be like doing their own thing, probably get a good meal and then go up to the room and start to like. Probably won't finish before my strict bedtime, but start to synthesize some things out of the samples that I've taken up until now.
okay. So starting to work on some alchemical sort of things.
Yeah,
and
whether I
figuring things
finish
out.
tonight or not, I know we're gonna be here for another day, so I'll start maybe even setting up my alchemy and stuff just to like start working on that.
Okay. Sounds good. Panabon.
So, so I noticed that Shaylun did not get any dinner, or at least Shaylun did not mention getting dinner. So if I'm wrong, correct me about that. But I make sure that there is some food that magically makes itself enter the room, and then the door relocks. And then I will have a little dinner, but I don't want to go too far in case Shaylun decides to pull a Panabon and just run off. Because that would do no good to anyone.
Isn't it frustrating when people do that?
No, I'm not going to learn anything from this. I'm just aware it's a possibility. I am slightly frustrated because if this weren't a thing, I would be going into the city, probably climbing over the wall. But I can make use of this time, and I want to watch the patterns of the guards and how the guards do watch. If there's a way to do that, but then also keep an eyeball on the door, I'd like to kind of get a sense of how the guards.
There's not really a way to do that and keep an eyeball on the door, but there's definitely a way to do that and be close enough to the window, the exterior window.
Great, I like that plan. So I'm just going to nonchalantly do some painting and keep one eyeball on the guard shift changing and one eyeball on the door that Shaylun is behind.
All right, so all right. So basically, what I'm saying is you can climb up on the roof of the tavern and sit on the side that Shaylun's room would be on, like close to that window, and then you'd, given your perception, you'd probably be able to hear if she got up and started moving around, and probably she would need a light, and you would see that light, and then from there you can kind of see what's going on with the guards that are maybe on the guard towers, but not. You can't see into the oasis area itself. And then as long as you're doing something, you get some odd looks from the guards as they are up there, and then they see like, you know, a gnome sitting on the edge of the thing. But if you're drawing or whatever, then they just it doesn't occur to them that you might be performing some sort of recon for something.
Because I'm a charming little gnome. What harm could I possibly do?
You're all bright and colorful. You're not hiding. You're just up there like drawing and stuff. And so they just, you know.
Let it happen.
All right. And then, so I know what everyone's doing. So when Rosalia heads out to go do some be in nature stuff, and Perunia, when you get back to the inn, dinner's ready. So imagine that you take your dinner. You don't see anyone else around.
I'll eat at the bar.
Okay. So yeah, eating at the bar. Zusi is the owner of the tavern. He makes sure that you're kept up with whatever you need, drinks or food. Unless you're striking up a conversation with him, he's or anyone else in the room. Pretty much everyone is doing their thing. Most of the caravanners are here.
I think I'm gonna just, it's obviously thank Susie for my meal, and I will order a couple drinks throughout the night. But I'm gonna take a step back and just listen to some of the conversations around me, try to get a feel for what we missed over the last, I don't know what it's been, probably 48 to 36
About
hours.
36 hours, right?
Yeah. So, just trying to catch up and find out what's going on.
All right. Oops. Want to do. It's not what I want to do.
Oh, I have a question. Are there any bodies of water in Palacune that Panabon would have seen that? Because I know it's mountainous, so probably the answer is no. But I'm curious if, like, it's the lowland regions. There's like essentially a beach somewhere, right? Like bodies of
Beaches.
water.
Yes, there are beaches in like the southeast of Palacune. There are lakes and stuff even up in the mountains in some of the valleys and things. But
I just wasn't sure if Panabon should be astonished by an accumulation of water this wide or not. So
right, yeah, it's no. I mean, and also you spent some time on the ocean, coming down from Palacune to Mercadashta, which is a port city. So definitely. Oh, there we go. Definitely, there's you've seen large bodies of water. I mean, it's beautiful and it's notable because it's in the middle of the desert. But other than that, there's plenty bigger bodies of water. You would say this is a small lake size. Definitely too big to be called a pond ever, but small lake size. So, yeah, you're listening to just kind of hear what's going on. There's not really a whole lot of discussion about anything that seems to really catch your interest. And as the night is sort of wearing on, maybe an hour or so after sunset, you hear sort of a din, a rabble, if you will, distant, hard for you to know where it's coming from. Panabon, up top, you can hear this much more clearly. Over to the west, not coming from inside the walls, you can hear a lot of noise, a lot of yelling and shouting.
is it the kind of yelling where somebody's stolen something, or the kind of yelling where someone's getting stabbed? Because both of those yells I'm very familiar with.
Yes.
Should I roll for perception on
No,
this? Or
the answer is yes.
Okay. Oh, stealing and stabbing. That's a party. That sounds like my kind of night.
So, Aegis probably just hears it as a sort of commotion, but those who are sleeping with closed windows do not. It's not enough to wake you.
Brunia's still down at the bar at this time.
Right, and people in the bar, like, as it kind of, as people are realizing that the sound is kind of filtering in, the bar itself is slowly getting quieter until everyone's kind of like, huh, what's going on out there? But nobody's moving or doing anything.
I'm just gonna go over to the door and look out and see if, like, the guards that were there, like, they're running towards something, to get an indication of what might be up.
So yeah, as you poke your head out of the inn, you look to the left first. The sounds are coming from the more to the right, probably over by the lodge actually. Looking to the left, you do see one of the guards is kind of standing looking in your direction. You don't see the second guard. But he's not moving in your direction. He's still kind of stationed there, like manning his post. As the shouts are just kind of continuing.
I'm gonna walk over, exit the bar, and walk over to the guard who's standing there, and I'll say, what do you think that is?
The orcs are up to something, huh? We're checking in. We're gonna see about sending someone over there to see what's going on. But orcs loud and rowdy sometimes.
Ignoring that judgment against all orcs, not cool. I'm gonna say, oh, interesting, and I'm gonna walk towards the lodge, mostly because I'm concerned about my friend.
Panabon, you didn't really see Perunia head to the guard, but as she's walking back, you do notice her heading in that direction towards the yelling and rabble.
Well, that's exciting. Well, now I have extra incentive to follow. So just all of a sudden, there's going to be a Panabon shaped gnome next to because I can't like jump toward the wall, can I? Right?
That's too far.
Yeah, that's too far. I thought it was too far. Otherwise, I would have done that already. But knowing it's too far, but yeah, no, I'm just. It looks like
right.
It looks like my kind of party. So, yeah.
As you arrive, you notice that there are about 6 or 7 orcs, maybe 5 or 6 human people, probably from the oasis itself. There's an argument going on, and there is a orc kind of just lying prone on the ground, unmoving.
I look around the group to see if my friend is present.
Yes, she's standing kind of at the top of so the lodge itself has a palisade it's like a yurt, but like a permanent structure yurt with the sort of palisade that's like right around it. So all these spikes that kind of come up to, discourage people from climbing up the sides or whatever. And also because it looks fearsome or what have you. And then there's the main doorway and she's standing at that doorway a little bit up. There's steps that kind of go up, and she is kind of watching intently. As she sees you arrive, she kind of gives you a nod, but her attention is focused on what's going on there. There's an argument happening, and make an insight check.
What language is that argument happening in?
Mostly Ashani with spurts of Orcish.
I do speak Ashani.
Glad someone does.
All right. So with that insight check, it's hard to know exactly who, like, in general, you feel like this is between the orcs and the humans, but there's also some like inner discontent within even those two factions. So it's like the orcs are arguing with the people, and then the people are arguing back, but then like within the people, they're kind of arguing about what might have happened, as the orcs are kind of also talking about what happened. Also make a perception test, both of you. But the bottom line for you, because you understand the language, is that somebody has killed this orc that's on the ground.
Ooh.
And of course, none of the orcs would have done it. So it had to have been one of the humans, but of course the humans are like, we didn't do it. But we kind of still agree that it wouldn't have been an orc kind of thing, like
they agree
don't know.
because the weapon doesn't seem like something an orc would use. Like, why don't they? Is it just like a cultural thing?
Probably just stereotyping, like if one of us had got killed, we would be blaming orcs, kind of thing, right? Like sort of stereotypical is your presumption, and so that's what the argument's going. And then like you can kind of get a little sense of the muttering between where the humans are like, well, I mean, I was over here and you were there. Weren't you over there? And like, so it's like a combination of trying to sort out what was going on while simultaneously an argument about who is involved. But you do also notice that there is a human girl, who is kind of standing behind two orcs, a little bit between, so that she can like she sees what's happening, but she's kind of standing with the orcs and not the humans. You would put her at mid-teens, maybe. Not saying anything, just kind of looking at the dead orc with eyes wide. So that's the scene.
I'm gonna, I'm standing next to my friend and I'm surveying the scene and I'm trying to get my sense. And I'll lean into her and speak quietly. Not a friend of yours, I hope.
Acquaintance. Traveling down south, from the north side. Been here a couple of days. Travels through a lot. Not sure what happened.
Well, I think it'll be an interesting one to find out. It doesn't look like he choked on his dinner.
No. Something happened. I'm not sure what, and until they're done screaming at each other, we'll just wait here and figure out what to do next.
I don't know what passes as Inquisition or Inquisitioners out here, but somebody's going to have to talk to all these people and get statements.
She looks kind of confused at that, the idea of taking statements. In the morning, the lodge boss and the Oasis boss will meet to discuss and come to a conclusion, probably. We hope. It's rare this happens, but it happens.
Interesting. Well, in Palacune, the Inquisitioners like to question people, so they would be pulling people out of the crowd and, well, probably getting everyone's take on what happened and who was where. And not that I'm any expert or anything, but
yes, they will ask questions of people. I've marked who is here, and then she looks kind of past them all now, from where you're at, coming from the guard side is another human who is approaching. And yes, the Oasis guard will get a measure of who's here from the Oasis, and certainly will ask questions. Yes. What about Panabon?
I would just like to look around to see if it looks like, if anything looks like it was broken, or if anything looks like it could potentially be a weapon, kind of in the area.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out how this guy might have been killed without actually checking on the body.
I'd like to do that first before I attempt to check on the body, because I like drawing attention to myself, but
Right. So that's what I mean. So like without actually going to the body itself, you're trying to see if there's any clues around that can help you. Okay.
Yeah. Any books that are different color from the animators panel, like in Scooby Doo?
Yeah. So as you're kind of looking around, you don't actually see any weapons, and even from where you're standing, looking at the body, you don't actually see any source of damage or what have you. It's not light. It's mostly dark. There's torches around, but you definitely don't see like any large gash or any sort of large wound that would be that's bleeding out into the ground around. And looking around, you don't notice any sort of weapons. There's been a lot of movement here. People have just been kind of walking around. Give me an investigation test as you are looking.
Is the body face up or face down? Curiosity.
The body is
Spicy.
in a strange position. It's not like it's not a position.
It's not going to come to life, is it? Because we've already had that happen.
It's not. It's not in a position where it's where someone would have hit somebody and they would have just crumpled to the ground. It's like they died because they're kind of curled almost in a fetal kind of position, but then their arms are kind of out. As you're looking at everything, as you're looking at everything, you feel like a drip kind of on your arm as you look up to the roof of the lodge and notice that there's just kind of a wet section that is very, very slowly another drip is starting to form.
Like water wet or blood wet?
Water wet. I mean, yeah, it's water. But it's not raining. You don't imagine that there's some sort of water delivery system on the top of this large yurt.
Is there a way to get up the yurt?
There are. I mean, it is a structure that you can climb up on, but there are, like I said, there is a small amount of risk if you don't manage it properly because the sticks are pointy.
You might get your.
But the mystery is.
Sarah, I said you might get your.
If the yurt yeets you, you get yote to the yurt.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be signing off. Everyone have a good night.
I don't know if Perunia has noticed that I'm there, but I just say to Perunia in a quiet voice, "Hey, I'm going up top. I think there's something up there."
Oh. Mm-hmm. I try to pretend like I knew you were there all the time, Panama.
I get that a lot.
The orc also kind of turns and raises an eyebrow.
My companion,
Hello.
Panabon.
She looks up there.
Yeah.
She reaches for you.
Hello.
She grabs you. I'm asking if you're like dodging away or anything.
Like, is it like my head is going to be squished like a grape, or is it?
It doesn't. It's quick, but it doesn't seem like I'm coming in for a murder.
Okay.
I'm right there. You're fine.
As long as nothing is getting wrinkled on my grand and glorious tunic, I'm good. So I'm like, hello.
Yeah, she lifts you up and practically chucks you up onto the yurt.
I think to myself, yeah, I'm on top. I got chucked on top of the yurt.
You're on top of the yurt.
How close am I to whatever the dripping was?
All right, so heading over to the dripped area. So definitely a little bit of runnel of water kind of coming down, but mostly dry. So it's coming down from not the center top, but just off to the side. Following that, you get the same thing coming from the other side. the idea maybe is that something very wet moved across the yurt.
But because we're not that close, like, are we in the little round thing next to the surf over here?
Yes,
Is
next
that
to
where
the
we are?
water.
Okay.
Yep. That is
But
the lodge.
That's the lodge, yeah, but
It's still a good 30 feet from the water's edge.
that's what's throwing me. I'm not, yeah, it's just like, that's what's my head's tilted. Huh. I asked myself, do they have evil water spirits here? Is that a thing?
As
Water?
I don't know who can hear me when I'm monologuing. I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure how far I got.
from on top of the yurt. The argument is sort of petering down. There is a general agreement that this will be sorted out later. There's a couple of orcs who are a little more angry than the others. You imagine those are the direct traveling companions. And as they are kind of separating the humans, sort of heading back towards the lodge itself, a couple of them actually are heading towards the water. And
I
you see the
actually
little
want to
girl.
Sorry, I want to use my string to preserve the line of wetness before it dries, because I have string in my inventory. Like,
Okay. Just kind of roll it across the yurt so that it runs along the wet.
Where it is. So
yeah. I mean, you have to kind of guesstimate in the center because that part is dried out and it is rapidly drying. But one of the orc kind of turns to the little girl and kneels down, says something to her. She kind of nods. He nods, and then she kind of dashes away like little girls do, like children do when they're suddenly like time to go, and and so she dashes away towards the lodge itself, and then everything seems to be quiet.
I ask my friend, is she adopted?
Oh, you guys, no, she was here. She comes out to visit the lodge much times, but it's somebody's kid.
Interesting. Well, I will see you in the morning. If I can be of any assistance, happy to help.
As the other orcs are kind of entering into the lodge, she just nods and boss will talk to these, get a sense of what happened, and we shall speak to the Oasis boss tomorrow.
Luck, my friend.
Good night. And then she turns and heads in, and the curtain that serves as a doorway closes.
I help Panabon down.
Before I leave the top of the yurts, are there any symbols or anything I would have seen, or is it just like the water? Anything else going on up there?
It's just the water. Looking at the other side, you can see that the palisade below that part is wet as well, as if water had been dripped or splashed down on it. But again, rapidly drying. You can't really see if there's like a trail that goes then from there to the water because it's grass. You might be able to presume as much, but it's definitely not for certain.
What are yurts made out of? Are they made out of canvas?
This one, you sort of a reinforced canvas. This is it's definitely been treated so that it's waterproof on this end, and there's definitely something underneath supporting it so that it's not just cloth. So you feel like maybe there's wood underneath or something like that that then the canvas is draped over.
Are there any tears anywhere? Like tears that look like they shouldn't be there?
Make your investigation check for this one.
Having a good time.
You do notice, especially at the two sides of the yurt, not a tear, and nothing that actually goes through the canvas of the yurt itself, but there's definitely scratches, like a very not there's no seeming pattern to them, so they're not like parallel scratches at all, like something with claws might have made them. It just like a scrabble of scratches, mostly on the lip, from the wall to the top, that then kind of scratch up a little bit, maybe like a foot, and then they disappear. And then on the other side, you see sort of the same thing, but not as much. On the other side, there's just a few little scratches. Like if someone, so there's the treatment on the canvas, and it's like someone maybe scratched away just some of that, so it doesn't actually scratch into the canvas or cut the canvas.
Fascinating. I have that look on my face like Jessica Fletcher has when she's solving a mystery on Murder, She Wrote, because I don't know what the other look is like. I don't know how else to describe the look. But it's the Jessica Fletcher look. I just look at Pruny and I go, water demon.
And I go, that doesn't sound right. Come on down.
Okay, fine.
I help them.
Thank you. I mean, it was definitely something wet. There was water up there that's drying, and there are scratches. But there's no thieving marks, and it doesn't seem like the body was stabbed.
The body's still there.
Yeah.
Ooh, we
They
examine the body.
They haven't
For
taken
sure,
the
for
body
sure.
anywhere.
Yes.
Everybody just leaves.
They just left.
So awkward.
We'll take care of it
Just
tomorrow.
left.
Yeah.
Well, it's the desert. It's not.
He's
like
not
the body's
going anywhere, guys.
Yeah, literally.
All right.
That's
Well,
really
that
gross
doesn't
in the
help me
morning.
much.
Yeah, well,
Vanabon, investigate.
this guy must have. Well, Perunia's like, I guess he had a heart attack because
I'm
Dead.
like, did he
He's
get
dead.
thrown off the building? Like, I'm trying to envision like the orc, like.
It's also not an open air graveyard, you guys. That's
So,
really
yeah.
the problem.
Sure they have
Not
one
with that
inside,
attitude.
okay?
Not with that attitude. Everywhere we
Um,
go, Pruny just leaves an open air graveyard. Like that. Pruny is
Don't
like takes
tempt
the
me.
universe.
so yeah. So you can make for the body itself, Panama can make an investigation or a medicine check.
My investigation is higher. Shit, well, do that.
You also remember that there's a medical personnel in your group that is not here. But,
After I'm like, well,
find
heart
nothing.
attack, I'm like, ooh, Aegis. And
Yes.
while Panabon continues to examine the body, I run to go get Aegis.
What time is it?
It's late.
it's not super late. It's like
Is it later than 8 o'clock?
It's late for
it's
Aegis.
later. It's later than 8 o'clock.
I am asleep.
Okay.
I wake him up.
Well, as you are going back to the lodge,
wake up
and
locked.
Panabon is
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How loud is this wake?
and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. As Panabon is looking, Panabon kind of grabs at the arms and kind of like does this to bend them, just to test the thrown off of the yurt theory.
Yeah.
But doesn't seem to find anything that indicates that there are breaks. In that, like, there's no new joints in places there shouldn't be joints. But other than that, I mean, there could be fractures, but
Yeah. Any? I guess I don't know if I got high enough, but any stab marks that I can see?
no, you don't find any stab marks. You don't find any wounds at all.
No scratches of any kind either.
No scratches that you have found.
Any canvas under the fingernails?
No canvas under the fingernails, as you're looking directly for that. So no, there's nothing like that. how loudly is Perunia gonna knock on the door?
Can we real quick do like a meanwhile before you wake me up?
Sure. Let's do a
Yes.
meanwhile.
So as I'm at the desk in the room, setting up all my vials and different measuring materials. I'm unpacking the acid sample out of my bag, the snake venom sample, the demon stink sample, and a little bit of the hangover cure that Locks drank earlier. All those things, setting them up on my table, and then I reach into the bag and I pull out that glove. And I look over my shoulder. Are you awake, Locks?
Ooh, no, I'm not, and I'm not happy about it.
So I look at the glove for a little bit, and I just think about it, and I take the glove off of the skeletal hand, and then
Oh God, why?
for a second there, I just like look at the glove, and I look back at Locks, and I put the glove back in my bag, and then I walk over and I put the skeletal hand in bed with Locks.
Oh God.
Don't worried about me. Y'all gonna be worried about Aegis.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Ready for that.
And then I chuckle and walk back to the table and sit down.
I want you to know I know it's gonna I'm gonna know it's you. I'm gonna know
Of course,
it's you. Yeah.
Of course you are. But I'll be in my mind. I'm gonna wake up before you do, so I don't care. And then Perunia comes.
So, all right. So you do that, and then after a while, you put everything away.
No, I leave the setup out because I plan to work on it as long as we're here. So the
Okay.
setup and everything's out. Then I
Okay.
go to bed. Yeah.
All right. So you're now in bed. It's later than 8, and Perunia has come up the stairs. Most of the main area, the common room below, has cleared out. There's a few people. The twins are down there still, but otherwise mostly empty. You head upstairs and move over to the door that leads to Locks and Aegis.
First I knock. Hey, Asia, locked. And then I try the doorknob. Is it locked?
Yeah, it's probably locked.
I wasn't the last person in the door. So
Oh yeah,
Locked.
it's locked for sure. Yeah.
I go harder, like open fist. Aegis!
Locks rolls in
Snoring.
bed and is like,
And grabs the hand and like pulls it close.
no. His eyes aren't open yet. He's like, hey, just open the damn door. That's what he says.
I've moved now to fist pounding on it.
Locke opens his eyes, and right in front of him is just a skeletal bone of someone's arm, and he freaks the heck out, grabs it, throws it out the window. I've not broken a window in the
You hear the smashing of glass, Perunia, and Locks screaming.
because you put a bone in my bed.
So what's Perunia's response to that?
Oh, I kick open the door because now I'm concerned about my friend. So obviously, I'm kicking open the door.
Okay.
I mean, there's already one murder here. Like, I'm concerned.
I just need you to make as if it's with your sword, make an attack roll with advantage. There's this chance that your angle is just off and you just kick and your foot just kind of glides along the doorway. But
What? How did that happen? 2 2s I just rolled. I rolled 2 2s.
You've had a long weekend.
Recon.
Still an 8. All right, it's not a nat 1. I want to see that.
The
all
door's
right?
armor class is lower than that, so you're fine. You didn't get a
Thank
1.
God I'm strong, because that sucks.
I like that the door has an armor class. That makes me happy.
Everything has an armor class, which is generally 10 plus or minus can it move, right? So
Yeah.
you, you're fine. You didn't get a 1.
Thank God I'm strong, because that sucks.
Everything has an armor class, which is generally 10 plus or minus can it move, right? So 10 plus or minus can it move, right? So You kick the door open.
And I run in now with my sword out.
And you kick it and start to run in, but you kick it so hard that it boom, and then it starts to run close, and so you kind of bang into it from the side, but you're in with your sword out.
That's when I pop up.
Because I like just jumped into a door. So
Yes.
Aegis, Locks, what's wrong?
Who's trying to kill us?
I spin around with my sword.
Locks takes a second after calming himself down, and he goes, he sort of looks over at Aegis, and he goes, "Jisi Duimati Fimatli," which is, just so you know, if you sleep with snakes, you're gonna get bit. And I should have known that Aegis would do something like that. Is what it means.
And then I look at you.
Looking for an attacker.
And I go, it was nothing. This fool decided to put some bones in my goddamn bed.
And then you hear the splinter laugh
sake.
from Ninja Turtles.
Oh my god.
Fruity like shakes her head really quick. Aegis, get your medical kit. There's a body.
Why, when we are trying to sleep in inns?
There is a dead body. Talk on the way. Come.
As Locks passes Aegis, he sort of whispers and he goes, "I'm gonna get you back." And walked out.
He said, "Sleep with one eye open." All right.
As packing up my shit. The body is not going anywhere.
You don't know that. They
up
could
my
put it
stuff.
in its open air graveyard. So you don't know that.
Just bear in mind, the longer that you're gone, the longer you're giving Panabon to start looking through pockets. Because eventually Panabon's going to get bored of not looking through pockets. So
That's a
think
thing.
about that for the longer the length of time you're gone.
As we go outside, we retrieve the hand glove thing from the ground.
Oh, downstairs.
Yeah, it's like
he
on the
threw
ground
it out the
outside,
window. Yeah, The magical item that we just don't
No,
remember.
it's not attached to the item. It's just the bones. He
It's
just
just,
put
it's just the hand,
on
the
my
hand
bed.
and the arm.
Oh, I
that's all
leave
it is.
that. That's fine.
Okay. That's fun. As you go to the body to check out this report is a dead orc, apparently, Aegis.
What do you know so far?
Well,
Just killed by a wolf.
Squatting down over it as I'm saying that.
we think he was murdered or something. Or he had a heart attack. I don't know.
I think it was a water demon.
I don't think that.
There was water on top of the urn. How else would it have gotten here?
From somebody who was swimming in the lake.
And jumped 30 feet in the air?
Yeah, maybe they climbed up and maybe they jumped on this guy when he exited the lodge. That is way more logical than a water demon.
How is that? What
She
is
said
that,
logical.
I want you to know,
water animal?
Lots is literally laughing as they argue and watching just sort of Aegis work. He's just not being youthful, just laughing.
14's not bad, but I'm gonna use an inspiration.
Okay.
Just in case.
So, Danny, did I find
There you
anything
go.
in those pockets?
All right. That
Yeah.
inspiration for Aegis came from Voodoo Goth.
Thank you.
Brought to you by.
Thank you.
Brought to you by Voodoo Goth. All right. The 23 is much higher than a 14. So the first thing you notice is the positioning of the body. This individual had time to die, right? That's so what I mean by that is whatever was happening, the individual knew it was happening and was able to kind of move afterwards somehow. Like, so this is not like a drop to the ground, but like more like was lying there and was dying. And so it's a little bit of a fetal position. There are no stabbing or slashing wounds that would have killed this person. However, you do notice signs of poisoning, and that would either be they ate something poisonous or they were poisoned outwardly. So that's the first thing you check for, because eating that you'll have to ask somebody about that, or purge their stomach somehow. So you look externally for something that might have caused it, and you do find kind of where the shoulder and the neck meet. There's just a small dot that has redness radiating out from it, which and it's a little bit swollen there, so that's something.
As I see that, I'm looking down at the body still. Mr. Locks, would you do me a favor and search the perimeter for any type of animal footprints or something of the like?
Will do. And he instantly starts sort of canvassing the area. What would you like me to roll?
Investigation for looking for something.
Right. My investigation is trash.
Hey, not too bad.
You are looking around. Is there anything in particular? Like,
I'm looking
is he
exactly
looking for
what
a
he told me.
spider, or is he looking for a snake? Is he looking for a deer?
I would
Water
look for.
demon?
Oh yeah. Well,
anything not
anything.
not shoes and not shoes.
I guess
not
anything that
clothes.
like was in this area specifically concentrated, just sort of around where this dude would have been, and sort of would indicate like distress, like running away or trying to like hide or like something odd.
I would
Does that
also indicate to Lox where we felt the drip and where the scratches were, because if my prevailing theory over the water demon is somebody climbed up on top of this lodge and there's scratch marks, either they could have jumped down to attack him, or they could have, shot something at him or something like that. So I asked to see, like, I show him like that area and have him investigate that area.
All right, that's what I'm investigating then.
Okay. This is just for fun, but
Oop.
Looking around, there's not necessarily anything that you could see that's off. I mean, there's grass, a lot of dried grass, especially because everything is a lot of people walk back and forth here, and that they tromp down the grass and everything. There's a few tents that are kind of around. There's rocks, stones. You don't find anything that matches what you're maybe looking for, or that seems suspicious or out of place to you.
I go back. I say, "There's nothing that seems sort of out of place, at least not from what I'm seeing beyond these scratch marks you showed me, Perunia."
And that puncture for Aegis, that is not nothing bites with a single tooth. That's not a thing. That leave a big that's a big enough thing that if that's an insect, you're really scared.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
yeah. We just came out of a dungeon and found a weird hand and moving soldiers. It could be anything.
Is this Shadowrun?
It could even be a water demon. I'm just saying.
So it looks like it might be like an instrument. I can tell that.
Yeah, like a stab, like a needle or a dart or a.
But we don't find a dart or a needle or anything like that around.
Lachlan doesn't find a dart or a needle or anything around.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty oblivious to this.
I investigate as well.
Yeah.
See.
Do I find anything in the pockets?
Everybody make an investigation check, and I will do a team investigation check. Let's go.
I'm so good at this. Hey, look, I found something. Oh wait, that's my footprint.
I have an inspiration I'm going to use on that because that sucked.
Wait, Danny. Can I use my nat 20?
There we go.
Well, I mean, we're trying to figure out. Okay, maybe it's not worth it. Can I do? Can I do one of my?
I just wanted to say that you can use your nat 20, and that would be a nat 20.
But then if it's nothing, it's
that
nothing.
face was just me looking up real quick to see if you maybe just had like a silver gift so that you didn't have to burn.
I
gold
do
to
have
do it.
I have a copper gift. What's
Yeah,
that one?
that's your advantage. A silver gift would be a success, like whatever it was, you would
okay.
succeed.
Yeah, I
at
want
it.
to. Yeah, I want to use the copper one.
Okay, so go ahead and make a. You can re-roll that then.
I'm shaking it.
Hey,
That's a little better.
Slightly higher. Slightly higher.
Yeah.
Hey, how do I get better at investigation? Because you want to know what, Danny? I've come to realize that you very much enjoy that skill.
It's a skill that you use whenever you're looking for something specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Anytime.
Yeah.
There may be a feat that will give you that when you get to level 8.
Because now I need it. Now I want it. Rather.
Yeah. So, let's see. Nope, it won't come up. If I was going to see if I could find something like easy, but no. All right. So, yeah, you don't necessarily see anything as you're looking. Even between the all of you looking together, that average is not the greatest. But yeah, it's pretty sure that this was some sort of needle or dart or something, but you don't see the instrument. Maybe someone already found it and took it.
So I just say to everybody around, poison. And I take out a swab from my bag and I squeeze the wound a little, and I want to take a sample of that and put it in.
It's better if you like suck the poison out and then spit that into the jar. No, I'm just kidding. Don't.
Well,
do that.
whatever would get me advantage on.
You just hear Panabon mutter, "Poisonous water demon. Poisonous water."
Good job.
I watching Aegis do this, I just mumble under my breath. It never gets easier to watch him do this.
I like look like astonished,
He
like
squeezes it, spits it out, and he's like, now I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably gonna put it in someone's bedroll.
Okay, well, you have the sample, I guess.
Shay doesn't know why, but she wakes up, checks the door, and goes and makes sure it's locked.
Hey, wait. Because of that, what
however,
do you do about the food?
Yes, there is food on the table. The meal, it's mostly made up of things that Panabon, make a wisdom check real quick. Just a wisdom check. Just a check.
Oh, good. This is going to go great. Oh, wisdom is on my main page.
On the left side. So saving throws are on the right side. Checks on the side. So it's
Wait,
this
what
would
is
have been
wrong with us?
this would have been delicious if it was warm, but it's not the kind of food that it's not pizza that you just eat cold later. No, it's like stuff where the animal fat that's in it congeals as it gets colder, and so it's just slimy and just like a meat jello inside of there, and it will sustain you. You could eat it. But there it is.
Lovely, though. The gesture is there.
I look at it and I look back at the door.
Which is locked.
See that it's locked. Look back at it. Look at the door. And then think, if I die, I deserve it. And go back to the
I put the sample in my bag and I come back out with my bag of stress eating nuts. And I start walking around to try to see if I can tell if he came from a certain direction before he died or anything like that. Because it's in the yurt, right?
It's not in the yurt. It's outside of the yurt.
Oh.
So if you want to do any sort of looking for tracks or seeing where people might have moved or how he got here.
This guy, specifically. Yeah.
That's a survival check for, tracking.
Why
stuff.
can't I roll that? That's what I have.
Yeah, that's definitely what you were supposed to roll on.
I mean, that's looking for tracks. He's
That's
trying
what
to.
I originally you said tracks. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll look for tracks. So then
Oh, I thought you were looking for a thing. I didn't realize you were looking for tracks. If you're looking for tracks, then you can make a survival test.
Retcon.
So, Aegis,
You can make it now.
tell-
Just make it now.
Aegis, did you tell everyone in the group that it was potentially a dart or a needle?
No, I just
Or
think
is that-
poison.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of people that were around here. You don't see anything that indicates this person ran to this spot. Unless, no, geez, like right where they're standing, there's a scuffle, like he moved quickly around in a circle or something, as you might do if something is murdering you in that moment. But you also notice a much smaller set of footprints in his direct vicinity of his footprints.
We may have just brought back a murderer. We don't. I can't say we know.
You're pretty sure Zivid wears shoes when he goes outside.
Oh,
And this person had no shoes.
This person had no shoes.
Ooh,
a little, and it's a people feet.
you guys.
It's a people feet, or an orc feet could be, maybe.
It's a
Hey,
people
orcs
Hey, you got-
orcs have 5 toes, a heel, like
So Lox has no idea what those tracks are, right? But Randy knows that there's a comic book out with like some different people from different countries. I'm just saying. No. But anyway, Lox, seeing that, he points it out to the group, is like, I have no idea who these belong to, but they're definitely slightly suspect.
I think about the teenage human for a second. I don't know why that comes to mind, but I go, I wonder. Something about this reminds me of a young girl.
Why is that?
Well, there was one out here, standing in the crowd. Maybe nothing.
No. I think it could mean something. So we got this little girl who was here. We got these scratches on the roof and weird water up there. Water demon. And he just kind of chuckles to himself.
There
What
was
is this water demon?
There was a book I once read where a tiny girl was adopted by a family, and in the end of the book, they found that it was actually a halfling that was posing as a human child that killed people.
or a gnome.
Oh, yeah,
Or-
yeah, it's been on
but- yeah.
Oh, Goldie Gnome and the Three Bears. I know what book you're talking about.
So yeah. Goldie Gnome and the Three Bears. It's canon, Daddy. It's canon.
Neither of those scenarios seem to make sense. But thank you for your input.
Hey, give Voodoo Goth the inspiration on Thursday.
Will do.
The orphan. It's a movie.
Oh,
So, I told you the end already, so I
mean,
ruined
it's a nice movie. It's a fun little movie.
it.
So yeah. So we've got these tracks. Those tracks, I imagine, go off, or do they just concentrate here and then disappear somewhere?
You want to try and track the
I do want to
Let's-
track them.
okay. So
Track the people feet.
the people feet, the little people feet, the little unshod people feet.
Yeah.
All right. It's not hard. This person did not attempt to hide their footsteps at all. So obviously the ground is not the best, but you are a skilled tracker. So
It is one of the things I do know how to do.
yes. So
More than you thought. More than you thought, probably.
yeah, if you're looking for tracks, that's going to be survival, because that's where the tracking goes. If you're looking for anything,
That's why I was
else.
confused, Danny. That's why I was confused. Because I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
I was like, if every time I'm looking for tracks, I'm using investigate, I need to change my skills.
Yeah, no. When you're looking for tracks, it's survival. When you're looking for anything else, pretty much
Got
it's
it.
investigate, right?
Got it.
So, if it's a survival-esque thing outdoorsy. So, but as you kind of follow along, is who else is traveling with Locks on this?
I will.
Okay. All right.
will not.
All right. So you start walking off. We'll get back to that in just a moment. As the two of you are down at the body, you hear the and Locks and Perunia have passed the first guard tower there to the east, just about to get to the lodge itself. But you hear behind you the sound of the curtain rustling, and you turn and see 3 orcs, Lady Orc that Panabon recognizes, if not knows their name, and 2 other orcs. She looks down at Panabon and gives Aegis a kind of a raised eyebrow, and then back to Panabon and kind of gives a little bit of a nod. The 2 other orcs are surprised to see people out here crouched around the body, and so they kind of stop and they look at her for a moment. What are you doing?
Solving a murder.
What is he doing?
Pointing to me.
Probably eating nuts.
Yes.
Oh, I actually am eating nuts.
Eating nuts and solving a murder.
I am Aegis Ing of Chaituating. I have forensic skills, so we are trying to figure out what happened in particular here. I don't know if forensics is invented in this world or at this time in this age, but I can do it.
Let's make up the word. It's dedication.
Dedication.
I gotta like it. Dedication.
Dedication. Done.
I'm the best at naming things.
Dedicated to the cause.
All right. So,
By the way, Danny, when you leave, I get the GM spot. So
yeah, that's why I came back.
Roland,
So-
said I have a very specific set of skills. And,
Yes.
Damn.
And then we could have cut like 17 times around you as you said it. All right. So there is a word for forensics in all the different languages, except maybe Orcish, because she does look a little bit confused by that. Perhaps orcs don't necessarily put much stock in forensic science, but contextually she gets your meaning, I think, as she's looking at you. And
I can say it in orc if she prefer.
Shani.
if you said it in orc, it would be something like dedication, because that is not an orc word.
Yes.
So
So that happens.
yes. So she kind of nods and we are taking him in.
Will you be the one responsible for checking the body? And
No,
no?
we will
Uh,
talk to the witnesses. They will say what's happened, and the bosses will make a determination.
okay. Well, when the bosses come and the people talk, listen for talks of poisoning and possibly some type of smaller individual doing the poisoning.
Poisoning? What do you mean poisoning?
You are going to find out later, you say, so I assume I do not have to tell you any more details.
And she does that, her with her hand, to indicate the body, and the other 2 orcs go down and they haul the guy up and take him inside the lodge to prepare him for
Also look out for water
open
demons.
graveyard burial, non-burial, whatever. Yes. All right. So Perunia and Lox, you are traveling around.
Is that your travel motion?
Yeah,
Is that your travel
you're
motion?
traveling around. As you guys get to the gate, you notice that there's four individuals, just sort of standing there talking amongst themselves. It's a female guard, two male guards, and a person that is just in clothes, maybe someone from the Oasis, and they seem to be talking. The tracks go beyond them, but kind of past them. So not like it avoids or skirted around them. So either they would have seen it, the person, or the person would have walked past before they were in that area.
So, Perunia, it looks like whoever we're trailing went right past these guards.
Like past, like not past
Yeah, they
in,
went through them.
past like to the other, like still outside along the wall.
Okay.
Oh, I'll go ask him. And I go up to the guards.
Oh, you again? She was the one asking. The lady says, I saw you down there. Did you see what happened?
Murder. Most foul. Or a heart attack. Hard to tell at this point, really.
Hmm. Most of the witnesses agree that there was no assailant that they saw. So perhaps, tomorrow we will have an inquiry. Are you in the lodge then there? The inn? She points.
Yes. Did you happen to see somebody go by a couple minutes ago? No shoes?
I mean, most of the villagers that were there came this way and passed through.
This would be a smaller individual, like a halfling or gnome, for example.
She looks. Did we? I think we saw Yue. Yes. Did she go inside?
A human teenager, you mean?
Yes. The other guards are like, a lot of people went inside. Like, we didn't really pay attention. She just kind of rolls her eyes. Well, I believe that Yue was there. I think I saw her. So maybe that's who you're speaking of.
I look over at Lox. I think I know who they're talking about. Thank you, friends. Yeah, so we'll be at the inn if anything else of commotion happens tonight.
Yes. So you did say your name was
Avril?
Revenge.
Avril Avenge.
Yes, that's correct.
Smooth.
And you, sir?
La.
Lance.
That's
Loxlance.
Yep. There you go.
All right. Avril and Loxlance. I will ask for you tomorrow in the end. I am Vinij Rodesuslam. So if you speak Ishani, that just means Suslam guard. Rode is the guard, and then Suslam. So like V Ishan is of Ishan, right?
Yeah.
So like this means that they don't have a last name that is tied to it, but they have earned this title. So like the other guards would not necessarily be Rode Suslam; they would just be their names. But so this person's probably like one of the higher ranking guards. And she says, I will come then and ask for you in the morning.
Yes, Innkeeper has our names.
Oh, very good. We'll see you then. And with that, she kind of says her goodnights to the O2 guards, tells the person that's out there, like, you need to get inside now. So he just kind of goes in. He was doing that whole thing, where like he was trying to be special and hang out with the guards and still be outside, like, but you know how people do. And then she goes in and the two guards just kind of like take their post, assuming that you're going to walk away. But you can still keep following the tracks.
I'm gonna keep following the tracks and say, if you know this person, we might be able to talk to them before things get too out of hand.
I don't know that anything needs to get out of hand. We don't know that this person did anything.
It's true.
But anyway, I'm not going to leave you to follow footsteps by yourself, so I'll come with you.
So you walk up, there's the fence. Do you climb the fence or do you go to where the fence opens and open it and enter the fence area?
You know I want to climb that fence.
I mean,
gonna
it's
go
not
the
a very
normal
tall
route.
fence. It's just,
Yeah, if it's
I
not,
follow Lox's lead because I can't see the trail.
okay.
yeah, I'm going inside. Yeah.
Okay, so you just walk over to where the gate is. You walk in. You close the gate behind so the camels don't get out.
Lame.
The guards are like watching you, like, the fuck are they doing? And then you kind of cruise around the circle, and you get to this point, kind of past, like you walk under a guard tower. You can see the guard tower up there, and I will real quick do a quick, just a teeny tiny area reveal that's not going to help anybody really, but
Great.
that's how the rules of Dungeons and Dragons go. If you reveal a portion of the map, you reveal a portion of the map, useful or not. That's Dungeons and Dragons law. Yeah, but you kind of come to this point here, and so I will put a little marker for you to show you where the footsteps lead to, so that you can see that corner there, and they end there.
From where? Like, where's the yurt from there?
The yurt
Right,
is
it's
all the
pretty
way in the
far.
bottom left of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
big
we
round
followed the
thing.
tracks along.
Yeah.
The gazebo.
So yurt is down here.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
There's the yurt down there. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So as you get there, you notice that there is an opening in the wall. It's about 2 feet from the ground, wide enough on the bottom for Panabon to crawl through.
Panabon did it.
So not the two of us. Lox.
Maybe wide enough for Lox to try to start going through, and then maybe if someone on the other end grabbed Lox's arms and just pulled really hard, could pull Lox through. No, Petunia.
Got it. All right.
Can we please Winnie the Pooh Lox?
Be great. Prunian's ready to shove him in there, so
I am terrified.
Lox is like, if the hat won't fit, I won't go through.
Prunian's like measuring the hat, like, yeah, you can make it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I was just gonna say, look at Perunia and be like, looks like we have a job for some of our friends here, and probably the one that stabs things.
To be fair, we could probably wait till morning at this point.
Agreed.
Because if we know that it's UA, I could find her tomorrow probably, and we can get in through the regular gate. And we know she came through here.
The one thing, the one thing I'm worried about is this is where all the camels are kept or whatever. Am I right?
Yeah, you're in the
So-
camel, the big old camel pasture.
Yeah. What if she wants to take off with some? I mean, I don't know why she would, but
One of the orcs was speaking to her in
okay.
very familiar way. And she ran off back here. I didn't
Alright.
get the feeling like she was gonna leave. And if she had, I mean, probably we would have found her tracks that way.
That's true. All right. Looks like a job for the morning, but let's reconvene with our friends and figure it out.
All right. So with that, with no more body to look for, And the water demons apparently have gone to bed for the evening. Aegis and Panabon head back to the inn. And as you're coming out of the pins, do you climb the fence or do you go to the the fence door? Either way, the guards are like looking at you like, what are you doing?
Just checking on my camel.
Yeah. Do you not take care of your animals?
No, that's why that's why you can go in there. We just thought it was odd at this
They
time
like
of night.
bedtime stories.
Yeah. Do you not tell bedtime stories here?
To our camels.
Yeah.
That's how you build camaraderie.
You're never gonna have a good relationship with your camel otherwise.
It's a camel. No one has a good relationship with their camel. As you walk
And
past.
that's why they spit at you. And he walked away.
And you head to the inn where everything is quiet. Maybe converse a little bit about, what you saw or anything else. But other than that, there's not much else to do but go to bed because it is just past 10 o'clock here. So it's the end of our session. We will be back again next week and see what's going on with this, with the circumstances here in the situation. See what's the boss of Oasim Suslam and maybe the boss of this particular Orc Lodge is about, and try to figure out what sort of connection this girl has to water demons, because obviously that's what we're
Our lead suspect right now. Yeah.
Water
Water
demons.
demons.
Hey, we don't know. There is magic afoot. So
Little
Tiny foot.
Yeah.
little foot.
So thanks everybody again for joining us tonight. I had a blast. I hope everybody else did too. We will be back at 7 o'clock CST next week on Sunday. That is 8 o'clock EST, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yes. So join us this week for our other streams. We've got so much that is going on lately. We've got Dresden going on Monday. I think we're doing our session 0 for season 6 of Shadowrun missions on Tuesday. So we're back for that. Wednesday, whatever. We do like in-house stuff. Thursday is Storm, Wrath Lord, King, Giant Guy, Bad Water Stuff. That's the official title, by the way. And that's at 8 o'clock, I believe, 8 o'clock CST.
It's
And then Friday, we have random talk about maybe something else, but probably just talking stuff, rem chat, I guess. Talking stuff. And then Saturday morning, Descent into Avernus. That's at 10 a.m. Central. And then we're back to Sunday, which is right back here, evening time. So, hey, that's just a week away. Join us. Check us out. Anybody else, anything before we head out?
You
Happy
can catch
Memorial
up.
Day.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day. But also check out our YouTube channel because if you haven't been caught up on this crazy adventure, we have all of our episodes there, as well as the preludes, which I'm real pumped about. And to get early access to the preludes, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/RemAlternus. We just dropped the 9th prelude, which is when Lox and Aegis meet, which is super exciting, and I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. We also got other things going on our Patreon as well. There's one-offs and other little adventures here and there, and some other things. And that YouTube, that's important because we're going to start putting out content that's just YouTube content as well. So getting on there and getting subscribed, and hit subscribe, bell, sign over your firstborn, all that good stuff. Yeah, and
remember to
we'll
hit that like button, subscribe, and get back to us with a cool comment in the.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I've watched a lot of YouTube. If you could tell,
I feel like we should actually maybe do that or something because they do that for a reason. Anyway,
I would also like.
There's this one guy that says that you basically he at the beginning of every video he says he goes, All right, I don't ask people to subscribe anymore. We make a bet. If you could beat me in paper, rock, scissors, then you don't have to subscribe. But if I win, you have to subscribe. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and then he just I imagine
Danny?
No, I don't.
Do you lose to the guy?
I don't play his silly game. No, I'm subscribed because I like the guy and I subscribe to his channel. But recently, yeah, that's his new thing. So,
John, you had an announcement?
I want to announce that it is nearly Pride Month, so to all of my fellow queer, gay, however you identify, gamers, both tabletop and otherwise, and all the people that would love jeweled eyebrows like Panabon has, I want to welcome you to our month of Takeover. We have a gay club meeting on Wednesday. If you didn't get your invite, it's probably lost in the mail. So, yeah.
Is that where you're going to discuss the gay agenda for the next year?
Well, yeah, because we have to set who gets the gay weather machine. Like, we have to have 365 days. It's a big to-do. Their names are pulled out of the hat. It's a whole thing.
Are they giving away free gaydar again this year?
No. We had someone that started trying to hypnotize people and go super evil genius. It got really awkward.
Okay,
We had to take away the gaydar.
This is the important question. This is what I really need to know. Do you have something on the lineup this year, some gay media that's going to finally actually turn me gay? Because I've been waiting for this for a long time. I've been told that watching gay media will make me gay, and I've been watching some here and there, and
we have Why Women Kill. The new season of Why Women Kill is coming out on Paramount Plus. Lana Parrilla is in 1940s, 1950s vintage wear. If that doesn't do it for you, a new Lizzo album is probably on its way. We've got some things going with the Olivia Rodrigo album.
But none of this stuff has made me gay yet. I was promised that I would be made gay, and I'm not.
Well,
and I'm disappointed.
I was promised an American Ninja Warrior subscription so I could get on the new Legends of the Hidden Temple. So we all have things we're dissatisfied with in life, Danny. I'm just saying.
The intros and the outros, I don't know what is wrong with us, but I don't know how we get here. We always get somewhere real weird at the beginning and end.
I'm starting to believe that people are actually just born the way they are, and you're not made that way. That's what I'm starting to believe.
Crazy,
That's
right?
fair. That's true.
All right.
It's likely.
Drinking the water there, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just sleep.
We do have kind of on topic with this. On Thursday, our D&D episodical game is an all LGBTQ plus cast. So join us. We do giveaways as Rem will turn us swag bags, and you get to support us by typing in #YayGay and getting entered to win. So,
as someone who has won one of those swag bags, I can tell you that all of the things inside are amazing, and you should be really pumped. So, yes.
Hey, all right. So that is our announcements. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there if you're doing anything tomorrow on Memorial Day. Do remember what it is for. Anyone who says don't thank a veteran, do that. Just also remember what the day is actually for, which is Memorial, not Happy Veterans Day. That's a different day. But regardless, whatever you do tomorrow, be safe. We want to see you back here next week. So with that, thank you to all of you. Thank you to the cast. And thank you to Tom, who is our voice of what the hell is wrong with you.
Yep.
Thank you, Tom.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.